Welcome to the Picks from the Yard podcast. I'm your host, Wayne Salvatore. Just a humble caddy trying to scratch out winners every week for you guys, along with my friends, family, even acquaintances are welcome as long as they provide winners. Now that they've gone and legalized gambling here in Jersey, we're going to provide you with the hot selections every week.
Fluoride, freckle face, 9 of 10 times out of place. And I thank God I'm not like you. Subway station.
Picks from the Yard, NFL Week 15. It only took about 13 weeks for us to turn our season around. We're on a bit of a winning streak, 2 weeks in a row winning. It was a long time coming. Hopefully we can keep it going this week. I'd like to welcome my guests, my brother Richard Math Whisperer Salvatore.
It's good to be back. We're rolling 2 weeks in a row. At this, I mean, we're grinding it out. But we were looking at the numbers. We're still at 35 games under 500.
We can go over 500 if we sweep the next 3 weeks.
Here we go. I see. It's a long shot, but yeah, you know, we are on a roll.
Long
so
shot.
I like it.
You're saying there's a chance.
Exactly.
Returning to the program, back from one of his many vacations. I believe he was in sunny Florida. Bon Vivant, William Bill Lesko.
I'm glad to be back, not necessarily in the area, but back on the podcast. Hoping I don't blow the your slight winning streak here.
Well, I hope you were a little R&R, buddy. We expect you to get some winners.
A lot of research.
A lot of research. Good. I like that. And returning to the program, our golf expert. I'm putting up quotes around that. Actually, he did give us Tiger in the Masters last year. Andy LaGreca. Let's see how he does with football. You were on a couple times with talking golf, right? If my memory serves.
I've been on for the golf major championships last year. Haven't done football. Disclaimer: I've watched about 90 minutes of NFL football.
Don't tell people that. Well, actually, this is a good way. These are the winners. These are the guys that win usually.
You guys haven't missed a minute, and I just hear you're 34 games under 500. So maybe a little fresh blood in here is a good thing.
We need something to shake things up. Welcome back, buddy. Hopefully
Thank you. Great to be here.
How are you doing? We're all in a pool together, by the way. You're picking 4 a week, right?
Yeah, right around 500.
Oh, so good. That's a good part.
Blowing you guys away.
500 sounds great.
I mean, wish.
Right about now.
that'd be pretty nice. As I mentioned, a winning week last week. We went 7-4-1. Also, we mentioned the season is at 66-101. We have 36 selections left, so we mathematically, right, Richard, we can still eke it out.
We just got to go 12-0, 12-0, 12-0,
Oh,
and it'll be
beautiful.
one game over 500.
Perfect.
So it's a bit of a long shot.
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened. I went 2-1 last week. I had a winner on Baylor. I eked one out on Baltimore and Seattle. I got nervous because everybody I talked to was on Seattle in that night game, and they got absolutely smoked by the Rams. Richard 1-1-1. Oregon was a winner. Jacksonville loser, and Indy was a push. That game was a little.
That was a crazy game.
Yeah, it was a little wild.
They were up. It was back and forth.
I thought we had that one.
That one looked good. Jacksonville didn't show up at all. They looked done. I mean, if having Minshew in the lineup doesn't give them some juice.
Oh, they've given up.
They
the
look
whole
like they've
team
given
looks
up.
like they don't even. Yeah, they're not
Right.
even trying anymore. Our guest Chris Halloran 1 and 2. San Francisco won in a wild one. It was an awesome, probably the game of the year. One would say. His Packers looked lackluster is a nice way of phrasing it against Washington. They did not even come close to covering, and Detroit was a loser. And Jim Dodge, rarely does this happen. These are two things. He went 3-0, which almost never happens, and then we didn't have him back on this week, which we always try to get the hot hand in here. I'm not sure scheduling snafu, but good job, Dodgy. 3-0. He would have been unbearable anyway. We didn't want him sitting in here gloating.
Exactly,
Ridiculous.
right? I mean, yeah, it would have been tough to listen to him. But he went 3-0, and he's actually having not a bad year. And two, he picked two. He's picking underdogs. He's coming in with notes.
He had
easy
winners.
He had easy winners. He
Tennessee.
really did. I hate to say it, he did a good job. I don't know what the hell's
City
going
was
on.
rolling. I mean, New England came back like they always do, but Tennessee, Kansas City, Giants with all those points. Eli almost pulled off a little magic, but all easy winners. Good job, Dodgy. The parlay was a loser, 0-14 every week so far. So hopefully we can change that that up before the year runs out here. Baylor loser, Jacksonville loser, Kansas City winner. Let's keep the good luck rolling here and see if we can have a strong finish. 3 weeks to go, so let's get get back in the black, Richard.
That's right, exactly. Here we go.
I don't fear anything, anyone, anymore. I'm a freak. Don't dress like you, act like you want.
All right, in case you're just tuning in now, this is not a replay. The Patriots were caught cheating. You might be thinking this was recorded, I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. How many times are the Patriots cheating to beat the Cincinnati Bengals, though?
Yeah, these are the only times they got caught.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good. I mean, they have a whole song and dance, a whole story. They're recording the sideline of the Bengals the week before they're playing the Bengals. It's I find it hard to believe that this was an unintentional. I mean, it makes me actually wonder how are they think they're in that much trouble? They really they need this to beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati's the worst team in the league.
The defense I hear out there is it's kind of insulting to the Bengals. They basically say, well, why would we cheat against the Bengals? Why? Basically it's like the Bengals are so terrible. Why would they cheat against the Bengals?
That is a good defense.
It's a good defense, but it's very suspicious. I'd like, in the words of Warner Wolf, let's go to the videotape. I'd love to see the videotape of what they're doing, because if they're just panning the sidelines, okay. But if they're like close in on the coach, the NFL knows whether they're cheating or not, because it'll be in the tape what they're actually doing.
And the NFL has that tape right now,
They do.
correct? So
Yeah,
exactly.
Conveniently, though, it'll probably never be released to the public. It's just brutal. Just enough. Well, it's so ridiculous. But Belichick was a little shy. He's normally very quiet with the media. I saw him this way. He seems to be talking a lot about this. So maybe he has a guilty conscience. It's I would love for Cincinnati to pull off a miracle this week. It would really make the story come full circle. But it's so annoying, especially as a Jets fan. Just tired of it. It's just so brutal.
That's why they were nervous. Since he beat the Jets, they had to get a little shaking in their boots there.
Worried about his big interdivision. But yeah, it's whatever. It goes on. It'll be swept under the rug. It's I don't think. Another thing about the Patriots, I can't take everybody on the TV is saying you can't count them out. Nobody is just. Can somebody say that it might be done? I can't see them winning the Super Bowl this year. I really can't. I know people. There are 3 or 4 teams that are clearly much better. I'll be shocked this year.
They're kind of in a lull now, which is late in the season for them to have a lull. I feel like other years they'll start off slow, and then they'll pick it up at this point. Yeah. So it's a little unusual.
It's like a flip-flop. Every year it's like, Brady's done, and then all of a sudden they go on a 10
That's exactly
big
right.
run, and this year's the opposite.
It looks the opposite.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm still not buying it. I'm telling you, I'm not buying it. I don't know. We'll see. They still have a home playoff game as long as they win out, and they should win out. And they'll have to go to Baltimore if Baltimore wins, but I'm not buying it. I won't buy it until they're actually out.
We'll see. I can't take it. I'm sick of it. The college football playoff picture is in play. Oklahoma got in the 4th spot, so they'll be playing LSU, and then you have Ohio State versus Clemson. Awesome games.
Great games.
December 28th, I believe, Saturday. It's going to be great. It's 2 great matchups. I can't wait. These games, you almost always get at least one of them is almost always a great game. So just be sure to tune in because it's going to be a great finish. I don't even know who.
I'm almost really more interested in the Clemson-Ohio State game.
Yeah, that's
going to be like Trevor Lawrence against the Ohio State defense is going to be really interesting.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome finish, and I don't know. I'm not even sure who I would take at this point.
I was hoping that Ohio State would be favored in that game because I wanted Clemson's coach to be like, all right, we've gotten disrespected with number 3.
Of him crying.
Right, but the thing is, they opened Clemson as a favorite, 3-point favorite, and then it dropped down to 2. And I think it's 2 right now. So, and a lot of sharp people have already said they're on Ohio State. I think I'm going to be on Clemson in that game but we'll see. I mean, we'll talk about that as we get closer to the game and give out some picks. But I'm really interested in that game. That should be a really great game, I think.
See which Ohio State players get suspended beforehand. That's going to change the spread too.
And it's so great not to hear much about Alabama for once this time of year. It's like an early Christmas present. I don't even know where they ended up. I should have done a little bit of research. What bowl did they? Who are they playing? Who's Bama?
We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the bowl games. But the fact that they're not in, it's the first year I think they're not in the playoff. And that's a team you might want to fade because that program wants to win the national title. And whatever bowl they're in, they're probably going to be like, well, we don't really care that much.
Cares?
And they may rest. We'll see if all those players play because sometimes in these bowls, when they're not in the big bowl, some of those players will be rested. But, because they're looking to be drafted high. But it is kind of refreshing to have them out and have LSU in. I think LSU, it's the first time they're in there. So at least a little bit of a change. But two what should be two great games that weekend and leading into what should be an exciting final.
Lots of bowl games coming up. I believe they start a week from Friday. Also, golf. What tournament's going on this weekend, Andy?
Are you kidding me? Now this is a great one. No, you don't have to apologize for not knowing this one, but this is the President's Cup, the equivalent of the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup being the U.S. versus Europe. The President's Cup is the U.S., same team as the Ryder Cup or a similar team to the Ryder Cup, playing the internationals. That's everybody international outside of Europe.
It's the same format as the Ryder Cup?
It's similar format. There's a lot of four-ball, foursomes, singles play, but it's over 4 days while the Ryder Cup's over 3 days. More points to be had, a few more matches. Captain Tiger against Captain Ernie
played
Els.
pretty good last weekend. They had the hero. The hero.
Yeah, that little tournament he hosts down in the Bahamas, 20-person field. Tiger finished in the top 5. Yeah, he looks sharp. I think all the young guys want to play for Tiger here. It's going to be a fun event. Tiger's player and captain, so he's going to be involved in the play. We were chatting. I don't think we're going to pick this this week, but we were chatting. These golf formats, these international competitions, never much more than a coin flip, I feel. These players are all really good. The U.S. traveled a long way down to Australia. A lot of these players were just in the Bahamas last week. You're getting plus 250 right now if you bet the internationals. It's probably the U.S. is slightly favored, in my opinion, coin flip. I'm taking the 250, though. I'm laying the...
That's a great number to have in this kind of format. I mean, it's just... you figured the odds would be a little bit tighter.
Yeah, you think so. So that's why I would invest in internationals, but got to root for Tiger in the USA.
I hate to not be on top of golf. I was explaining before we came on the air that it's like as a caddy, I feel like I'm supposed to know this stuff, but it's also like this time of year, the last thing. It's like being at work sometimes. Golf is on. I'm like, golf season's over. I'm on a break.
Training video.
I really, I should stay more on top of it because it's awesome to watch. But I kind of like take a little breather here. But the match play, it's gonna be. I mean, this is a great.
And the time zone difference here. So 5:30 p.m. happy hour. We're gonna have golf on.
I love it.
Over in Australia, it's great to have on. Golf's always great to have on the background. You got your games on, but having the golf this week, definitely worth a look.
And the final round is on Saturday, right?
Saturday
so that's
night.
great. Saturday night. Also, then you don't have to fight with the Neanderthals at Carpe Diem over Sunday football. You can get your
Richard. Richard gets me. I
great.
love it.
It's awesome. And Saturday is kind of, the Army-Navy game, which is a great event, but it's the only college football game on Saturday. So you basically could be out somewhere and they'll have the golf on, I would think.
Oh, this is a glorious tournament for you, Andy. No football on. You get a chance to maybe have some volume on at the bar with the golf. Usually,
I'll just take one TV, but should be fun.
All right, away we go into the picks. Let's keep it rolling here, and I'm gonna take a team. I'm going to with Thursday night's game. I'm taking the Jets plus 14.5. I've been talking about this game the last couple nights at the bar, and everybody seems to think there's no shot. The whole world's gonna be on Baltimore. The Jets have a good run defense, and it's short week Thursday. It's just a ton of points. And Lamar Jackson's a little dinged up, and it's not even a homer pick here because I don't think the Jets are particularly good this year. But I just feel like it is a lot of
It's
points.
not a money line bet, but a Thursday night game
And a potential
14.5,
letdown.
yeah.
I mean, Harbaugh is really not going to let the team have a letdown, really. But this isn't like a game that's circled on their. It's a they're probably looking past the Jets, and they looked a little beatable last week. I had them last week, and I felt like I got very lucky. Buffalo played them tough, and Lamar Jackson dinged up on a short week. Give me all those points.
And Baltimore's had, I feel like, big game after big game, and even the Bills game last week. The Bills are a good team; they're a playoff team. This would be a letdown spot. So I do like all those points. All right, for my first game, I'm going to the Army-Navy game. I mean, I'm not going to the game, but I'm picking the Army-Navy. Actually, we'll talk about this in 2 years. It's going to be at the Meadowlands,
We're
going to try to go to that game. But I like Army as a big underdog. They're getting 11 points. They've had a disappointing year. They looked okay early in the year, but they've had a very disappointing year. This is their Super Bowl. This is their big game. They always get up for this game. If you look at them against Navy, the last 10 years, they're 7-2-1 against the spread, often as a big underdog. They find a way to get up. I also think the under's kind of a good look. We were talking about that.
10 years plus. I went back and looked. The last 10 years, the under's coming. It might be longer than that. So it's just, it's an amazing trend. Yeah, and it might bite you one of these years, but you gotta. It's an unofficial bonus play from Picks from the Yard. Take the under.
But I think you'll enjoy the game more if you take a side because you don't want to be all of a sudden worrying about them not scoring. And it's a great event. I love watching this game. It's
getting 11 points in a historically low scoring game, as we just talked about, is also pretty juicy. I like this play.
It's just a shame Vern Lundquist doesn't do this game anymore. It was my favorite with Vern doing this game. He gave it up a few years ago, but definitely worth a tune in.
My first pick, I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders with their final game in the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
The battle of two really bad teams. The
last game at the Black Hole, and they're bringing a sacrificial lamb is rolling into town.
I was looking at the Raiders lost their last three games like 30, 31, and 31.
Oh, boy.
And Jacksonville lost their last four games by 35, 17, 22, and 20. And Jacksonville's last win is against the Jets. The Raiders' last win is against Cincinnati.
Oh, boy.
But I like Gruden cutting the three veteran defensive players for there's going to be changes. And
he's had it.
You're gone.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that.
They're talking division 3 weeks ago. Division,
exactly. They were talking
playoffs.
division.
Yeah.
They
now
were
they're
absolutely
back to being an embarrassment of the league, and they're going to come in angry, and that crowd. I don't even know what's the security like. What do you double up on the security in this thing?
It's Oakland. No one cares.
They're
going to just burn the whole thing down.
Everybody's going to be stealing. How many seats will be removed from the stands? This is going to be.
It's going to be like the Jets' last game in Shea, which was another disaster.
It's the scariest place to when you see it on TV. I've never been there, but being from a small town here in Jersey, Bergen County, that place looks terrifying. I would not want to sit in those stands and root the other way.
I went there once. It was scary.
I like all this Pats talk is really getting me fired up to take the Bengals this week, plus 9.5. In prep for this, I talked to a few of my we won't say degenerate friends, but friends that like to invest in the NFL, and everybody was on the Pats, which is never a good sign. So I like 9.5 at home for the Bengals, who are terrible, but everybody alludes back to this Patriots team. This Patriots team always wins these games after controversy and, Brady finds a way. This is a different team. There's been a lot of roster turnover over the years. I don't like looking historically. I like looking more at the moment of what this team is, and I think it's not a very good team. So 9.5 at home. I like the Bengals.
I think the Pats might just keep it close just to pretend they weren't cheating. They don't want to win by too much. We didn't do anything.
It is a
we
pretty
won
big
by
number
5,
for an offense that's kind of been struggling. So I do like, double digits would have been nicer, but Richard's looking at us like we're crazy.
No, well, it's a contrarian pick, and I'll leave it at that. No, it's I will not. I'll be rooting against the Patriots, but historically they come up big in these spots. Bengals have looked a little better the last couple of weeks, so 9.5 is a lot. I'll be rooting for the Bengals. That's all I have to say. I will not be investing.
Okay, I'm gonna back a guy. Actually, both these teams have I feel like have both cost me a bunch of money this year. I've been on the wrong end of a lot of their games. I'm gonna take the Bears going into Green Bay +4. I'm not gonna say Trubisky's turned things around, but I feel like he has been playing a little bit better. And Green Bay. Who are Green Bay? They look mediocre. I mean, I'm just talking about last week. Like, I don't understand.
They had that streak where they looked like the best team ever.
Yeah,
like after like game
the
like 3,
last
4,
few
5,
weeks,
and then.
I just, and you got a nasty defense for Chicago, and it's Chicago. I mean, Chicago needs to win a lot more. So I mean, maybe I'm overreacting to the Redskin game last week, but give me the 4 points with Chicago here.
This is a tough game as a Viking fan because I'm not sure who I'm rooting for. I don't know if I want Green Bay to come down or not have Chicago come up. I'm not.
Right, because Chicago's behind you guys and has a shot. Right, and Chicago is in desperation mode. And they have extra rest, too, extra time to prepare. I like this pick.
I pray I'm not cursing Mitch Trubisky at 2:30 on Sunday.
He's already been cursed.
This guy.
All right, for my second pick, I'm going to take the Washington Redskins in a spoiler roll. They're a home dog. They're getting 4.5 against the Eagles. The Eagles don't look good. They don't look good. They barely beat the Giants in that Monday night game. The Giants had them in Philly, and week by week the Eagles are just getting by. And Washington has been playing better. The last 2 to 3 weeks they've been playing better. They were the team against Green Bay, right? That was they covered that game,
they had
at
a
Green
chance
Bay.
at the end. They were they went
trying.
for a 2-point convert. I mean, they were in the game at the end against the Packers.
Right, and you see these games late in the year that are division games with a team that is out against a team that's fighting, and a lot of times you see the team out, that'll play well as in a spoiler role. So I like Washington as a home dog.
It'd be a perfect spot for them just to win outright too. The way that division's going, it's a dumpster fire. It'd be like another thing to add, more fuel to that.
It is also kind of funny that we've already picked Washington, the Jets, and Cincinnati. But
who's taking Miami?
Let's go. We're not recapping. Just let's plunge forward. Somebody pick a winning team.
Okay, I'm going to take my Vikings then.
All right.
The only thing that the Chargers have been playing better lately. Obviously, they killed it last week, but they've been playing better overall. They have been finding ways to lose like every game. I don't know how many games. There's like 4 games that ended on a reverse interception.
Yeah.
Or the bad kick. It's crazy. But the Vikings have been playing really well. They played well against Seattle. They could have won that game. Beat Detroit, which doesn't really do too much for you, but they beat Detroit. But I think they're sort of hitting on cylinders. And
the Chargers very mediocre, and I mean some of these Rivers looks. I know he played well last week, but there are some games where he looks like done. So I like this pick, the Vikings.
Well, we mentioned the Bengals, we mentioned the Jets, we mentioned the Washington Redskins, and I heard Miami, and I'm on them this week.
Oh man, we're taking all the worst teams.
Listen, we
also took Oakland. What's going on?
Well, listen, this Dolphin team, they play hard. I give them more credit than the Giants, who just are zero at this point. I truly believe that. I think their coach is an absolute jerk off.
Oh yeah, he's terrible.
It's terrible.
You're getting 3.5 to a lifeless Giants team. It's more of an anti-Giant pick than it is a pro-Dolphin pick. But
Miami has been playing with a spark every week. I mean, the coach. I mean, they're not tanking. They're not tanking,
and Fitzpatrick is just playing with reckless abandon. Right? He is just letting it all hang out. And
against that Giants D, couldn't get ugly.
Why not? 3.5 points against that Giant D. That's all I needed. So
I'm going to take the Houston Texans getting 3 at Tennessee. This is Tennessee's looked like world beaters, and I just feel like it's this is the week where everybody, they've been building, people have been betting them, more people betting them, and Houston is coming off just an utterly embarrassing performance. I don't even know what happened last week. They couldn't.
Houston's killed me this year. I can't figure them out. They'll play great. Then you beat New England and you get destroyed by Denver. I mean, and Denver's played okay. Denver's been better than their record. It looks like to me, but that was
Denver
crazy,
put
that
up
game.
all those points against Houston's defense. I go, what is going? I mean, Denver's D has kept them in a lot of games, but for them to come out and they were racking up points, and I just feel like Houston. It's just bounce back week for Houston, and like I said, Tennessee is just the darling of all the gamblers right now.
Ryan Tannehill,
I
baby.
will take Tannehill's been great. He laid. Did you see him take that guy down? He threw a pick and then he ran the guy down.
Oh, yeah, that was
Freaking
great, yeah.
leveled him.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a great tackle. I love Tannehill, but give me Houston this week +3.
All right, I'm going to the Cleveland-Arizona game, which is two teams at the beginning of the year we were all about fading. I'm taking Cleveland. They're hanging on by a thread for the playoffs.
Baker's been playing better.
He's been playing
give him
better.
that.
They're giving 2.5 on the road at Arizona. And Arizona looked okay for a while. They were covering. They weren't winning games. But I feel like they've run out of gas a little bit. And you have this thing with a rookie quarterback where a lot of times toward the end of the year, you want to fade these guys because there's more film on them and they're a little bit tired. And also the coach who, when he was a college coach his first year, he started off guns a-blazing. And then while other teams figure out the scheme, basically near the end of the year, his teams fade.
They started off 3-1 and have since lost 6 weeks in a row.
Right. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. And, Cleveland's got to win. So I like them, as a small favorite on the road. Take the Browns, give the 2.5.
All right, for my third pick, I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home against Buffalo.
This is a game.
This is a great game. This is not going to be a high-scoring one, but this is a tough, old-school football game. Two great
It's a
defenses.
street fight.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think Pittsburgh has been finding ways to win. I've liked the Bills all year. I think the Bills have been underrated. And they played a nice game against the Ravens last year.
Pittsburgh just keeps winning.
Pittsburgh just
rolling.
wins. Yeah. And they have Pittsburgh's defense is great. Bills'
I think they're
defense
like
is great.
6-1 or 7-1. I mean, the only game they lost was the brawl game at the end. But other than that, it's just like this. Tomlin just like it's a.
Yeah, I always thought I was always sort of a little negative on Tomlin because they have all those like pre-snap penalties and rough personal foul stuff, like just dumb things. But they played really well with
plugging
nobody.
guys in this year. It's like
even
crazy.
James Conner been hurt.
Yeah.
Then go with the duck.
I love it, Duck. Yeah.
Tomlin's great. I feel like motivating his team and getting these kind of coaching them up. He gets a lot of criticism from sharp gamblers because they say his in-game decisions aren't the best. But look at what he's done this year, and I think he should be up for Coach of the Year. I know there are a couple other guys who've had, done really good jobs. The 49ers coach, but he's done a great job piecing this together, and they're right in the hunt for the playoffs. So I like them in this game.
My last pick is the Los Angeles Rams, coming off a nice win last week. Similar to my Miami bet against the Giants, I think this is more of an anti-Cowboy bet.
We're basically just picking against that division.
Yeah,
Just as a
NFC.
smart play. I do like that. That's a good. The Cowboys, they've beaten nobody.
I mean,
Nobody.
we just before the show ran by who the Cowboys have beat, and
Miami,
in Hoboken
the
High
Giants,
School, Weehawken High.
They lost to the Jets. I mean, but with the weapons they have, I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, it's more than a coaching problem. I'll tell you that much. Garrett does stink, but they've beaten nobody with a winning record.
It's bad, and I do think the Rams, as I said last week, they had a nice game. I think Gurley's getting hot. The coach even admitted he wasn't using them correctly, and they're going to try to use him better. And I like the Rams in this spot. I'm laying a 0.5 point. I mean, that line's going to probably move from pick 'em to 1 all week, but I got them at a 0.5 point right now.
Yeah, I like that. The Rams just have been playing a
It
lot
started
better.
turning
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the last couple of weeks. I do like, and the Dallas is just the never-ending drama. It's the lead story, or one of the lead stories every day, with Crazy Jerry. All right, the money line underdog parlay this week. Give me Miami to beat the Giants. I'll take Houston over Tennessee and the Bears to go into Green Bay and win outright. That will pay a juicy 15-1 in week 15. This will put us back to dead even for the year. I like my chances here. Get involved.
I found someone who wants me despite what
He's back. Clegg's Corner. Tough week last week, Will.
Yeah. 0-3 happens to the best of us. It's happened to you a couple times this season, I think, right?
More than a couple, so it was we're still in the black. It was overdue, but and we were close to hitting the big one.
Yeah, that Gladbach and Munich game, there was a penalty in the 92nd minute to Gladbach. They won the game, which I had the right read on the game. I think that Munich should not have been a a heavy favorite, but yeah, we just missed on that draw.
And that was the big draw, right?
that was going to be plus 360.
Oh, man. So close. A couple minutes away. Well, we'll get it back this week, buddy. I feel confident.
Yeah, we're just going to hop right back on it. Got 3 picks for you again, and we're going to start Saturday morning, 10 a.m., back to the English Premier League, back to this theory of the draws between the lesser teams. So we've got 11th place team and 13th place team. Burnley versus Newcastle, and the draw there is plus 240.
I like this. I love the theory. It's been somewhat successful since we started.
I mean, it's how we've built up a little bankroll. We're only, I think, 2 games above 500 now, but we're like plus 6-something units because these draws have come in for us. Not in the last couple weeks, but early in the season.
Oh,
so.
overdue then. I like that.
Yep.
Not in the last couple of weeks. Maybe double down on this one, people.
Your words, not mine. All right. Saturday, 10 o'clock, we're then going to jump over to the Spanish League, and we've got Barcelona at minus 143 away to Real Sociedad.
Real Sociedad.
Nice. Got it on the first try. All
at
right.
that.
So Barcelona has been playing much better than they started off the season. They've really turned a corner recently, and so I really like them as a nice price here for the best team at minus 143. Then we're going to go over to the Italian League, Sunday, 2:45 p.m., and we've got Inter Milan. Didn't come through for us against Roma last week. That was a tough one, 0-0 draw. I had Milan to win, but this time they're away to Fiorentina. Milan's still in first place. Fiorentina's in 13th place.
Oh, I love it.
And Milan is plus 110 to
What?
win that game.
Does this sound like? Do they have the expression "trap game" in football?
I think I have to look in my Italian-English dictionary for that.
It seems a little dicey here, buddy. Why is it number one? Why is it number
The
one?
Italian league is a little more compact than some of the other leagues. The competition is better. So,
Highly suspect. I wish I knew more about soccer so I could argue with you.
well, that's the beauty of this segment is that you don't have any idea what I'm talking
That's
about.
kind of, all right, we're backing you, Clegg. Inter Milan, an underdog to the 13th place team.
And well, they're not an underdog. I mean, Fiorentina's longer odds to win the game than Milan. It's
They're they're
because
plus.
it's 3 bets.
So wait, are all 3 bets plus?
All
then,
3
including
bets
the
are
draw?
plus,
So why don't we
yes.
just? Why don't
No,
we just?
we've done this math previously, and it's we're gonna go with Milan plus 110.
I don't have to brush up. You have to give me a little brush up course here. I'm slipping.
If you want to go back and listen to the How to Bet on Soccer episode,
Oh yeah, good.
just scroll down your feed.
Oh, nice. All right, good.
Yeah, all right. So if you want to do your crazy parlay this week, all 3 teams, it's 11 to 1.
Oh, I love it. There's nothing crazy about that at all. You're getting the number 1 team. You're getting the draw, which is overdue. All you got to worry about is Barcelona to beat Real. I see the other 2 are definitely coming in.
Your words, not mine.
Soccer people, get involved.
I don't fear anything, anyone, anyone. I'm a freak, so dress like you, act like you want me to. I'm a freak.
All right, a quick recap so you can jot down this week's winners. Basically, you look at the bottom half of the league since we're taking pretty much all of those teams. I'm rolling with the Jets plus 14.5, Chicago plus 4, and Houston plus 3. Richard's taking Army plus 11, Washington plus 4.5, and Cleveland minus 2.5. Bill Lesko is going with Oakland minus 6.5, his Minnesota Vikings minus 3, and the Steelers minus 2, and Andy LaGreca, Cincinnati plus 9.5, Miami plus 3.5, and the LA Rams minus half a point at Jerry World. The money line underdog parlay this week: Miami, Houston, and Chicago. And Clegg's corner, we have Burnley, Newcastle in a draw, Barcelona to beat Real Sociedad, and Inter Milan to beat Fiorentina. And that parlay pays a juicy 11 to 1. I would suggest jumping in on that. We plugged all 12 teams into the DraftKings app. This one's even juicier. Usually it's not. It comes in at 22 or 23. This is 2,414 to 1. And we have to do this on our quest to get back to 500 in the next 3 weeks. So maybe throw a buck or 2 on this one. I like most of our picks. I'm not going to, I don't feel like arguing this week. So I'm not going to say which clunkers are in there. But what do I know? Anything you guys want to plug?
I mean, have we plugged Johnny Pepperoni before? I can't remember if we plugged Johnny Pepperoni. I was there last weekend, and
Delicious.
Best meatballs in Hoboken, in my opinion.
I would
say the
agree
best
with that.
meatballs in Hoboken. The pizza's great, and it's a very comfortable, family friendly place. I love it there.
BYO there still, right? Or they
Right,
have-
that's right, exactly.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So really good. really good.
BYOB on the former hallowed grounds of Ted
Oh,
and
that's right.
Joe's.
Sure.
A legendary Irish pub back in the day. They do a great job there, though. All the pizza, everything there is great. Fantastic. Andy, the golf this weekend? What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug the President's Cup. It's a pretty intriguing event for me. Captain Tiger always. I mean, I'd watch Tiger Woods go grocery shopping, so him captaining this team is pretty exciting. This is the first time in I think 20 years that Phil Mickelson isn't a part of the U.S. team. He did not make the team. Pat Reed is coming off of a cheating scandal yet again from last week.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, he got a
this
2-stroke
guy.
penalty for improving his lie in a bunker, and it looked pretty intentional. So a lot of eyes will be on him.
Oh, come on. He's fluffing it up.
Absolutely.
Oh, I am appalled as a caddy.
Belichick and Patrick Reed in the same week.
I know. Nothing sacred. And it's just great timing with the teeing off at 5:30 our time here in the East Coast. So
Light
it should be
football
fun.
week. I love it on
Oh,
Saturday.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll be able to watch a lot of it, so I'm pumped.
And I'm going to plug the Army-Navy game every year. Great. Just you got to watch the whole thing, the whole pageantry of it. And just, it never disappoints. I tune in every single year. I always root for Navy, but we'll hope Navy wins in a as a
Let them win
slight-
by 3. And
Yeah.
a lot of times it's a close, competitive, grinded out. They're good competitive games. Even though
Everything
one
on
team
the
looks
line
better.
for these
That's
guys.
right.
And the crowd. It's just it's an awesome event every year. Final regular season football game. All right, quick thanks to the guests this week. My co-host Richard Salvatore,
Thanks for having me.
Bon Vivant, Bill Lesko. Where are you jaunting off to next, buddy?
Florida for Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
Get
lovely.
Get ready for the playoffs.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, go work on your tan, buddy. It's starting to fade a little bit. Andy LaGreca, congrats. Was attended his wedding a few weeks ago. It was quite the event. Great time. 2-day hangover.
For you or me?
It was at a barn in This is my only gripe. A barn in Massachusetts. Aren't there barns in Jersey?
Not like that.
It was beautiful, actually. Lovely place. Great band.
Oh.
Dance floor was packed.
Shipped the band up from the city, but it was good to have you there, and it was a great time. So thanks.
And you'll be getting that wedding gift as soon as I have a winning week, buddy. Don't maybe explain that to the old missus.
Yeah, she'll get it.
If you liked what you heard, please subscribe. We're on Apple, Android, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also subscribe at our website, picksfromtheyard.com. Visit the website for all of our archived and bonus episodes and more content. For comments, criticisms, and challenges to Wayne, email us at pftypod@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're at PFTY Pod on social media. Remember, gambling on sports is entertainment. Please don't overdo it. If you or someone you know is in over their head, call 800-GAMBLER for help. The Picks from the Yard podcast is produced by Van Vorst Films in Hoboken, New Jersey. Our music is Anticipation by the Gefkins. Check them out on Spotify. We'll be back next week. Get involved.